we want to create a sound like this. So that's the sound. And let's close this track. Let's duplicate this. And the reason for this video is, of course, we have tons of great sounding presets here. Tons and tons of presets. But I want to encourage you to be more creative. Create your own stuff. Create your own unique sounds, because it's a lot of fun and you have your own created sounds for your productions, which is great in my opinion. So let's choose this one. It's all macros off. And let's deactivate all the macros here. And let's deactivate the 7 Heaven reverb here. So we have only this track. And as you can see here, we have only this track. We have the stereo out. There's only a limiter here, just for a little bit of loudness. And here is rear stream, so I can route my audio into OBS. And that's it, nothing else. So here we have the default setting. So the first thing is to choose some source sounds here. So we have 3 channels of sounds, as you can see here. Channel 1, Channel 2 and Channel 3. And you can click on the source button here. You have different categories, types and sources. You can also switch the channels here. And by clicking on the name itself. So let's stick with channel 1 here. Solo this channel. And here you have different sounds: clean, processed, atmospheric, dirty and distorted, and so on. And here you can listen to the sounds. So let's listen to some. Here we have some dirty and distorted. And for channel 1, I want some processed sounds, some atmospheric, and I want the haunted clouds here. Yeah, so let's load these into channel 1, and let's switch to channel 2, solo this. Let's activate the auto button here. Yeah, let's use the murky octaves here. Let's load these in. And now channel 3, let's solo this and listen to some sounds. Let's use these ones here. So, and now we have 3 sounds, and all 3 together sound like this. don't forget to unsolo this. Now we have all three together. It sounds interesting already, but we can do a lot more here. The first thing I want to do is to add some static reverb here. So I have the 7th heaven here, and I have the Sanders Hall preset with this mix going on with -2 dB. And now with the 7th heaven it sounds like this. And the next thing I want to do is to add some extra reverb here and automate it with the mod wheel. So we have the space button here, we have delay and reverb. Let's activate the reverb here. I go full on with the size, and with the mix knob here, let's go to around 20%. And then you have this little red dot here and these arrows. And when I click and hold, you can see I can choose the automation here, the macro automation. And I go full on here and then click this little button, and then you can move the mod wheel, and you can see here when I go up with the mod wheel, the mix knob on the reverb goes up. So what this does is when I play the sound with the mod wheel all the way down, and then I turn the mod wheel up, it adds more and more of the reverb because the mix is increasing up to 100%. And then you can link all the channels, so this effect applies to all 3 channels. So let's do this, and let's listen to it again with the mod wheel all the way down, and then pay attention to this mix knob as I move the mod wheel up. And that's one cool thing for me, because then you can choose on the fly how much reverb you apply on this sound. So with the mod wheel all the way down, you have a mix at around 20%, and all the way up, you have the mix at 100% and a very lush sound. And this has nothing to do with the 7th heaven. This is more a static reverb, but here you can choose with the mod wheel, with this macro, how much reverb you want to apply here. So, and the next thing is here the filter. And now I want to apply some filter here. Let's link all 3 channels again. Let's activate the filter here. I use the low pass 4. It's chosen already here. We have some different filters here, but let's stick with the low pass 4 pole. And here you have the cutoff frequency. So let's choose a cutoff frequency around 1K. Now we have 1K here. And here again is this little red dot and these little arrows here. And then I go full up with the arrows. And now when I move the mod wheel, at first I have to click here to apply this filter to the macro. And now you can see when I move the mod wheel, the cut frequency is moving. But when I move the mod wheel up, the filter opens. But I want the other way. So I can click this little button here, and then it's reversed. So when I move the mod wheel down, the filter is completely open. And when I move the mod wheel up, the filter closes finally to the 1K frequency. And now it sounds like this. Now you have this nice effect. You can close and open the filter with the mod wheel. And another thing is, we already automated the reverb here. And when we close the filter towards 1K, also the reverb is getting more and more and more, as you can see here. And that creates this nice sound to cutting the high frequencies, and the reverb makes the sound lush and more paddish sound. So again. This is very great also for very high chords. So you have this feeling the sound is going more and more backwards. But you can also do this with very low octaves. So I hope you get the idea with the filter together with the reverb automated, and you can create a lot of interesting sounds here. Another cool thing is to use a little bit of this resonance here. So let's choose a very drastic one so you can hear the effect. Let's choose 80%. That's of course a little bit too much for this type of sound. So let's go back and let's say just a little bit, let's say around 20%. And you have this nice little resonance going on as we move the filter here. So you have a nice little resonance on top of this. Another great thing is the cycle engine here. So again, you can link all 3 channels or just choose one you like. And then you have a sequencer going on. You have some randomized settings here. You have some standard presets like the triangle here. Some comp filters here. Let's choose one. And we have the weight. Let's set this to 16 notes. And here we have a chain. So you can create different chains and play them in a specific order, which is really cool. But let's deactivate this. And now it sounds like this. So this is the comp setting, but let's create something new here. Let's say a group of 4. You can also set the panning here, so it moves a little bit in the stereo field. Can go a little bit more extreme here. But you also can choose not all 3 channels, only one. So let's deactivate channel 3 and channel 2 in the sequencer. And now only channel 1 is applied to the sequencer. And another cool thing is, together with our macro automation, with the filter and the space, when you move the mod wheel all the way up, the sequencer in channel 1 is very quiet. You barely hear it. But when we move the mod wheel down, so you can create these interesting sounds here. And of course, you don't have to do this manually all the time. So you can do it with some automation in Cubase. So let's make this track a little bit bigger. And let's record some random notes here. So just some random notes. And then CC1 modulation is already selected here. And then we can record some modulation here, which applies to the filter and to the space here. So just for example, so it sounds like this, with the automation going on. So I hope you get the idea, so you can create very different sounds. And as I said before, be creative, try different things out, try all the different parameters, all the automation options here, and be creative and create some sounds with it. And the most important thing, have some fun with it. So that's it for the video. I hope this was helpful. If you like this, please leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe to my channel. And yeah, thanks for watching, and bye bye.